Alright, welcome everyone. This tutorial will just be going over the 2D prep for missions. Okay, so here we can see we have a two-ship dead strike against the 4960th Air Defense Battalion.
All right,
So
listen
I can
up.
go to my briefing here. Normally the campaign briefing will have a little bit more information. Just says destroy enemy air defense assets. Normally that would tell you exactly the title of the unit you're to destroy here. Okay, so this is a DAD strike. So loadout for DAD is this here. So it's an asymmetrical loadout. It has the AGM 88 here. Okay, so that is the HARM anti-radiation missile. So that actively seeks out ground radar signatures and homes in on them and destroys them. These are the GBU-39B small diameter bombs, so these are a standoff munition. You can generally launch these from about 30 nautical miles out if you're around above 25,000 feet. Okay, here I have my HTS loaded. Okay, so this will allow me to use the um, HAD, okay, in cockpit. And then here I have a target pod in case I get close enough where I can use that. Target pod has a visual range of 30 nautical miles in this game. On the bottom here I have my jammer, okay, which is of course necessary on any DAD or CAD mission. Okay, so I've got a good loadout. So what I'll do here is first of all set up so I can see everything. You right click the map here. You can go to installations. I have all of them selected. You, of course, don't need all of them. What you do need is air defenses. Okay. Um, Generally airfields, so that you have an idea where the enemy you could get pop-up targets coming out of these airfields. Um, Naval units doesn't really matter, but Army, you can turn CCC, Triple C, political. Infrastructure shows bridges, which is a normal target for this. Logistics, you can see here, this is a depot. So this is a field depot. Sometimes you can get missions on there. So the logistics, we'll toggle that on and off. War production are these factories, obviously a pretty important target. And then other shows road information here. So if I go to status here, this is the Changpyeong Pass, which you don't really need on. So I can turn that off. Okay, so you want all the air units on. Okay. Ground units, battalions is normally what shows up. Brigades will also show up, but doesn't give you a lot of the functionality, like recon and things like that. You want all of these on. Again, naval units, you can turn on or off. It doesn't clutter the map at all. Show threat circles, important. You want this set at high altitude in general. Normally you fly above 20,000 feet, but you can also check out low altitude if you're doing a NOE or nap of the earth attack, which is generally, I guess, below 500 feet. These other two don't really matter too much. You always want to show the bullseye so you know in general where your bullseye calls are coming from. So this is this town here, um, just north of the DMZ. You can see here. So basically, if you get a bullseye call and it's anything around 270 here, you know that it's going to be enemy, and it's going to be this direction. So you can also use the ruler. So we know that our target now is about bullseye, so 270, so almost direct east, or sorry, yeah, direct west of the bullseye, and at for 46, 47 nautical miles. Okay, so you can see here, you can check out this runway. You know, I'll give you about 41 nautical miles from bullseye. Okay. Uh, anyway, so next thing I'm going to do, so I'm looking at my steer points here. So I fly direct to the target here. However, there's other threats in the area. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set a pre-planned steer point. So again, I just set pre-planned steer point here. I right-click that, go to status, and set whatever type of threat there is. You can also set uh, like for the FAC, an egress point. These will all show up on the HSD. Okay, so I know that I'm after an SA2, so I want this to be an SA2. This is the steer point number, 56. Okay, so I set that right over the target. Right click again, set pre-planned steer point, and I'll check out what this is. I just go to status. If you go to recon, it takes a lot longer. Just status. So KS-19, KS-12s, the fire can radar. This is a AAA site. It says right here, AAA battalion. Okay, so I will set this to AAA right here. Accept, and place that over there. Okay, and then one more, so status, and this is an SA2 site. So you can see that right here. And by the way, these SA2 sites require the fan song radar to be functional. Okay, so if you see just 6 SA2s but no fan song, then it's not a threat. Okay. Which also comes into mission planning when you just need to take out a site, not destroy the entire site, but just the functionality of that SA2 system. You can just hit the radar. That works for a lot of the SAMs in this game as well. Okay, so I have those threat steer points planned. So another thing that you generally want to do in this game is set up the forward line of troops, or the FLOT. So I can right click again and go to set steer point lines and go to additional steer point line 1, and then go to additional steer point to line here, and then I click and drag. Okay, so I'll just set up and you can have up to I think it's 5 of these points here. So you just keep clicking until everything runs. Yeah, you run out there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 points with the line drawn between them. Again, all of this shows up on the HAD. So that's just a situational awareness. Okay, so you know when you cross this line, you're in enemy territory. Okay, and in general, this helps, especially since our runway, our home runway, is so close to the FLOT. You don't want to start descending until you pass this line due to ground fire or just like SAM or man pads. Okay. Also gives you an idea of where you need to egress to, or if you go defensive, if you need to flow a certain direction, it helps to have that on your HSD. Okay, so there we go. We have our threat steer points there. We have our FLOT outlined. You can also set these to be like a box around your target area if you're doing CAS missions. Pretty useful here. Okay, so now that I have all of that set up, I can go to my data cartridge here. And let's see here. The first thing I do in this is go ahead and set my tower. So this is on UHF. Okay. Preset 15 is the standard. Ramon is an airbase in Israel, by the way. I just click on set tower here. It sets my point of departure here is Kimpo Air Base. Okay. Right now, I'll just save that. And okay, close that. Okay, so one last final prep here before the mission. We'll go to recon over the target. And pretty important for DAD or CAD missions. Once this loads, you want to set a your steer point 15. So here we go. So here you can see your target list. This has all the targets in the area from where I reconned. Okay, my target is the 4960th Air Defense Battalion. Okay, so what I want to do is designate steer point 15. Okay, and the reason why I picked 15 is because 1 through, looks like 1, let me see here. So these are all the steer points, obviously. So 1 through 10 are going to be actual steer points that I need to navigate. So what I'll do is go to this fan song radar. Now I could set steer point 11 since that's not in my flight path, but just in my mind I always have 15 as the beginning. Sometimes you get 13 steer points, sometimes you get 14 steer points in your flight path. So generally 15 just for so you can memorize it. 15 is a good place to start. Normally you'll never have a steer point 15 in your flight path. So anyway, I want to hit this fan song radar. Like I said before, once you take that fan song out, the SA2s won't be able to fire on you. So go to fan song, steer point 15, accept. Okay, and then I have, if you look back on the loadout, I have 4 GBU-39 small diameter bombs. So I can hit 4 other targets. So go back to recon here. So I'm on steer point 15, or 16 now. So 15 was the radar. Now 16 SA2, accept that. I'm going to go to 17, the next one. 18, accept. And 19, accept. So I have these 4 SA2s selected. So 15 through 19 are my steer points. And then I do have a wingman, so I'll set him up to steer points to attack because they're a little noobish. So that'll be enough for him. Okay, so again, go to my data cartridge, go through my target steer points. So 15, I'm just checking here, is the fan song radar. That's okay. 16 is the SA2, 17 SA2 with different coordinates, 18 SA2, and 19 my final SA2 target. Okay, for my wingman, these 2 work. Okay, and then nothing will be set after this. Okay. You can see here that you basically have 1 through 24 to set on your target steer points. Okay, you can also set 81 through 99. Okay, no problem. Everything in between, let's see here. Yeah, everything between 24 and 81 are reserved steer points. So like you saw here, if I go to status, this is steer point 58. So that's where all those other steer points are. This is also a set as a steer point. Okay. I can go more into steer points in a different video. But, so comms are set. Modes, I haven't done anything here. You can change what shows up on your left and right MFD. So MFD1 is your left MFD, MFD2 is the right. So you can see here I'm in air-to-ground master mode. Actually, I'll show you here. So MFD1, well, I already have it set up. So I had to change this HAD. So this is the harm display. I forget what the A stands for, but this is what you'll use to basically as your radar. Put it a simple way, I guess. But this will actually see the SAM sites and any actively emitting radars on the ground. So I want that set for DAD or CAD mission. EWS. let's go through your chaff and flare programs. Okay, so you have 6 programs. You can set these in the or set which program you're on in the cockpit, but you set up your chaff and flare programs on your data cartridge here on the 2D screen. However, I don't have anything clicked here. Okay. The one thing that you do need to make sure is you have display bullseye on your modes. Okay. Flying with a friend, this was unchecked and he didn't know where he was. His bullseye number was, or his bullseye call was different than mine. It was a little strange. So make sure you have that selected. Okay, so I'll save that. And then finally load. And we're all set to go. So I'll see you on the next video.